Good evening. You're attending a session of the City of Jacksonville Beach Board of Adjustments meetings. Board of Adjustment meetings are quasi-judicial in nature. All decisions of the board will be based on competent, substantial evidence, including testimony provided in this meeting. Any person who's not an applicant or agent that wishes to speak will need to fill out a speaker's card located at the side table by the door and turn them into the clerk. Each member of the public will be given 3 minutes to speak on each item. Please refrain from speaking from the audience, and applause or cheering will not be allowed. Please silence your phones. Can we have a roll call, please?
John Moreland.
Here.
Owen Curley.
Here.
Jeff Trular. Matt Metz.
Here.
Laura Tierney. Douglas Dell.
Here. Okay, next on our agenda is the approval of minutes. If everyone has reviewed the Board of Adjustment minutes for October 21st, is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve the Board of Adjustment minutes for meeting held on October 21st, 2025.
Second. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, the minutes have been approved. Is there any correspondence? No? No correspondence? No old business? Just one item of new business. Can you call our case, please?
Board calls case number BOA 25-100090. Property address 31 South 26th Avenue. Motion to consider sections 34-611 Echo 1 Charlie 1 for a front yard setback of 13 feet in lieu of 20 feet to extend front, second, and third story deck. 34-611 Echo 1 Echo for maximum lot coverage for primary structure and required driveway of 49% in lieu of 35% to address existing nonconformities and to accommodate new additions at an existing single-family home.
Okay, as a reminder, each member of the public will be given 3 minutes to speak when we open the public hearing. Does any board member have any ex parte communication?
I've had none. I've had none.
And I've had none. Would the applicant please come forward to be sworn in and give their presentation?
Please raise your right hand, state your name and address. Can you turn your mic?
Yes.
There we go.
State your name and address.
Antonio Aguilera, 3126 Avenue South, Jacksonville Beach, Florida.
Okay. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Sir, were you going to testify as well?
I'm going to. My name is Robert Gray at 5211 Pine Rocklands Avenue, Lithia, Florida, 33547. My name is Robert Gray, and I'm an architect and affiliated with Antonio.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Do you want me to introduce? Hello, guys. Antonio, his family, they bought a house that was built a couple years ago. It's a 3-story. It's an elevator in the middle to be able to get between the 3 floors. It's a pretty tight size lot. It's 50 by 70. It's a little bit of a trapezoid. It's a difficult. The house itself is somewhat constrained, small, and the family they're trying to improve their living space a little bit on the middle floor, so they wanted to expand the deck space to the front, and that was all they were trying to accomplish. So, and that is why we're asking for a 7-foot building, front building line relief, and then I was able to verify that if we had 49% lot coverage, we would be golden. So we're trying to improve the livability of it, and just mainly the second floor. It's just a living space, and there's almost no space outside. So that's our goal, and hopefully we can talk to you about that.
Just to elaborate on that,
Just got to move up.
Oh, sorry. Just to elaborate on that, I have one sister-in-law that has 9 kids, and so and my wife has two other siblings. So anytime we have a major family gathering, needless to say, it's quite a packed house. So the intention for the second floor extended balcony was essentially just a decompression space to just allow our entire family to be there and to just make it more of a livable home for us. I mean, you guys know how the market is now, and we've looked at other options, but this is really the best that we can do with what we have essentially. So that's the intent of it.
Is it going to be an extension of the deck, or is it going to be an enclosed area?
Let me answer.
Yep.
So the only enclosed space that's extending is the ground level of the garage. And that's only because from a waterproofing standpoint, it's kind of helpful. There'll be a little bit of storage in the garage. You're not really going to do much. And it's still going to, the way the cars work will be similar. So on the second and third floor, we have some covered deck and some sun deck. So there's nothing enclosed off the first floor.
So it's not going to interfere with line of vision from neighbors.
So there's one neighbor to the west, and the way everything's situated, we don't have any way of blocking their view. There's trees and things in the way, and I think Tony talked to them, and they don't have any concern for this. So that's the only house that is near us, and everything else to the east of us doesn't have a problem. There's no chance for us blocking their view either.
There's a large, so on the western side, there's a pre-existing just massive number of hedges and like palm trees. So I can't even see there right now, just across there. It's very difficult. Sorry. There's an existing, a high number of kind of palm trees and hedges, and even now the visibility is very limited. So I doubt they could see anything looking eastward from their home.
I would ask if you ask the people behind you, but I know that's an Airbnb, so
To
it's not
to the south.
not going to matter.
I'm sorry, to the northeast.
To the north, directly to the north.
Yeah, to the north, I think, is an Airbnb.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are the railings going to stay the same for the property, or going to change them out?
I did a lot of due diligence kind of just in the surrounding 4 to 5 block radius. And, I've seen everything from what we currently have now to basically clear windows. And, I would be completely fine keeping the way it is. For me, the main intent is just to get more space. So it's, so whatever is copacetic for the overall look of the house. And, I don't want anything that's going to stick out like a sore thumb because I care about the value of it too. So won't be doing anything crazy with the rooms.
One minor comment. If you look at what I submitted with you guys of what we want to do, from the front of the house, the front elevation really doesn't change in appearance. It's using the same shapes that are already on the house and just bringing some portions forward. So we're trying to be as not invasive, given every chance. That's kind of it.
The point I'd like to clarify relative to what was posted, what was posted reads as though the additions are only on the second and third floor. Is that correct? Or are you also extending the garage in the first floor?
We're extending the garage to, let me make sure I'm saying this right. If you look at the second page I submitted, I'm basically pulling the exact garage forward 7 feet to match what's happening on the second floor deck. And there'll be a enclosed space below, but from the look of the front, it's going to look exactly the same. That was kind of the reason I pulled it forward, was to not change the architectural style of what's existing.
Yeah, because the debate, or not debate, but the question we were having is, aesthetically, what would look more copacetic with the neighboring houses? Would if you had just 3 support columns, or if you just had an extension out of the garage? And we ultimately felt that it would just look cleaner and would look more copacetic if we just extended out the garage. It would also help, I think, in terms of like the waterproofing as well.
It's better structurally, so it just makes for a cleaner garage. So we didn't really want to have basically create a carport for the cars to drive under. So it's a judgment call. If you have a heartburn over, I would understand, but I don't think I think it's actually better this way. but if there's concern for it, please voice it.
I wouldn't say concern, but it's definitely a consideration with regard to the visibility for street traffic and recognizing what was stated regarding landscaping. That's not really in our purview because that can come and go pretty readily and easily, and there are regulations around that the city looks at, not the board. So I was just curious if from a street view, you were still going to have that clearance. It's difficult to tell looking at the Google image that was provided from the satellite imagery, but it does sort of appear, you know, in passing, looking at this image, that the front line of the home would, with the new addition, still be aligned with the home adjacent on the west, which would be on the curb. So it doesn't appear, you know, at least it's not obvious that that would reduce any ability of line of sight toward First Street for anybody driving down 26th Avenue headed west, which was the only element I'm trying to, you know, gauge a little bit better.
I think their house fronts to First Street, and the way the vegetation is, they're probably not even going to see our house during construction because it's blocked even in that to that extent. And it's also on the ground level that we're talking about, so it's the least. You're not even going to. It's not going to block anybody's view because it's on the street
It's
level.
the most relevant to traffic is the consideration. Like
Yeah.
if you're driving on 26th Avenue headed west and you're trying to gauge if there's a car coming from the north, you would be able to see around that curb. And I'm trying to tell
Oh, right.
if the,
Like from
if
the north
the
coming south.
if the south edge of the home to the west of you already blocks that view, so this really doesn't increase the disruption of view of traffic.
Yeah, so just so I understand, like if you're going from east to west on 26th Avenue, and there's a car coming from south to north, because it only goes one way on First Avenue. Yeah. So it can only go south to north, or south to north. Yeah.
And there is a because the house on First Street, so you have effectively like 50 feet before you reach the corner. So I think that's also playing in our favor.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions for the applicant? Okay, I'm going to ask you to step back, please. I'll now open the public hearing. Do we have any speakers cards? No? Is there anyone in the audience who has not filled out a speaker's card that wishes to speak? Okay. I will now close the public hearing and bring the item back to the board for discussion. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve BOA number 25-100090 based on the substantial competent evidence presented in the staff report and all relevant testimony presented at this hearing, and that the motion meets all the standards for the variance as outlined in section 34-572 of the Jacksonville Beach Land Development Code.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved in second. Any discussion?
I think it's clearly an undersized lot. The standard lot dimension is 9,000 square feet, and this is just over a third of that. I think they're making use of the existing structure to a large degree, so the 49% lot coverage is really just bringing something existing up to code, so no issue there, readily available. The only item that I wanted to put the thought into, and I think we did this during the testimony and discussion, is if any disruption would be made from a traffic perspective if that first street or first floor was also extended. Based on the testimony provided, it seems clear First Street does only travel south to north as that was presented. I do recall that being an accurate statement. So this wouldn't disrupt their visibility around that corner for any traffic on that road, so I don't see any disruption there. So clearly a hardship of an undersized lot.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, can we have a roll call vote, please?
John Moreland,
Yes.
Matt Metz,
Yes.
Douglas Dell,
Yes.
Norman Curley.
Yes. Your request for variance has been granted. Thank you. Okay, moving along to the planning department report.
Our next meeting will be January 6th, and we have one item on that. And then we also have 3 new board members that haven't been trained yet, but they should be at the January 21st meeting if we get them trained in time.
Okay, great. Will we have enough people for the meeting on the 6th?
Who's not going to be here? Everybody gonna be here?
Sorry?
Who's going to be missing? I haven't sent the thing out
I'll
yet.
be here.
I'll be here. John will be missing.
Yeah, John will be missing. So
Is
how's
Jeff
that?
coming back? Jeff Trudeau?
Jeff, he's still on, but he has work, so I'm about to email Jeff and Laura to make sure we have enough members.
All right. Oh, Laura's still on, right?
Yeah, Laura's still on.
Okay, thank you. Now it's my favorite, courtesy of the Florida visitors. Anyone? Anyone? So before we adjourn, I would just like to say thank you to John Moreland, who has either spent 19 and a half years or 20 and a half years on this board. And this is his last meeting. So I'm not authorized to say on behalf of the city, so I can say on behalf of the Board of Adjustments, thank you for your service.
So I enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
Okay, that being said, we're adjourned.
I'm confused. We have 3 new members.